In May 2010, authorities in Pakistan banned over 1,000 websites because a Facebook group was calling people to draw the Prophet Muhammad. I've always seen Pakistan emotionally react to situations from time to time. So for this situation, I packed my bags and traveled over to Pakistan to look beyond the reactions and maybe even figure out why they happen all the time. I'll be interviewing 5 distinct Pakistanis. They are Dr. Miraj Ul-Huda, President Jamaat Islami Karachi, the most prominent religious political party in Pakistan. Salman Abidin, a marketing strategist. Jami, one of the most famous filmmakers in the country, currently working on a feature film about the origins of a terrorist mind within the Pakistani society. Dr. Awab Alvi, a famous blogger and a philanthropist. And Sabeen Mahmood, an activist and director for the most prominent community space for liberal arts and open dialogue in Pakistan.
Illiteracy is the first thing. That's our problem. Internal. External, political issues.
Having a space for open dialogue and creative expression is incredibly important, especially in a country like Pakistan, which has become so intolerant.
If you're thinking that Pakistan is some kind of a police state, sorry, Pakistan is a completely free country. In fact, it's like the Wild West. You can pick up a gun and shoot anyone and no one will come and get you. It's as bad as that.
The judgments can be very emotionally charged. I mean, this blasphemy issue is so sensitive in the Pakistani society.
You can mess with me, you can mess with my country, you can mess with my religion, but don't mess with my prophet.
It's the biggest sin on the earth.
It's criminal.
Unacceptable notion.
I'm slightly a liberal person. I believe, I think the cartoons are not representation of my prophet.
I went to that page and I reported abuse on that page.
There's also something where if X number of people report a page, it is removed. Now, thousands of people, lakhs of people reported this page.
A page was created, We Love Prophet Muhammad, and within 24 hours the membership crossed 90,000. Almost all of them, they also reported abuse.
And so, if they're reporting it and they have a policy of removing things that are bothering people, then they should have removed it.
But what we saw, that even thousands of the Muslims, they protested and they reported abuse, but this page was not removed.
If you read what Mark Zuckerberg came out with the statements and all, he tried to give it another spin. He said that it seems like the government is trying to stop, anti-government talk and stuff. That's not true. So that's not true. The Pakistan government can't censor anything. They can't even stop the news channels from talking against it.
Mark Zuckerberg. And going forward, okay, I will say that Holocaust, intolerable, it was removed. Not only double standards, many standards. The Hitler page, not only the page was removed, the membership was cancelled. How it is possible? They have the right to remove the page, but they are not operating this right for the sake of the Muslims.
You controlling from there, and you telling us we don't control anything. This Facebook is open, but it's not open. It's not true. It's not open.
They are saying that every religion, we don't want the humiliation of any religion. If there is problem for the Jews, Judaism, but if there is a problem for the Islam, they don't care. They say, okay, this is freedom of expression. We can say everything.
On the flip side, where the conspiracy might be that the Prophet Muhammad cartoons are being used to do a conspiracy against us. We as Muslims use the Holocaust and the Jew, and we instigate that every time. I mean, even this discussion, every time no one wants to talk about the Holocaust, it's not about the Jews, but we hit back on them and say, hey, that's your Holocaust, look, haha, we're going to hit you on that, you hit back on us. So I think this argument and debate has to understand that yes, we are slightly aggressive people in real life, but it doesn't mean that you actually have to hit back.
And prophet is something that is our cultural religious thing. We are not American style people that you can do graffiti about Jesus Christ and hard heavy metal comic books. We're not.
And the code, announced a ban on the Facebook.
Do you think that the Pakistani government should have issued some sort of a formal request directed towards Facebook before taking this action?
You know what? Turkey did that, Malaysia did that, Indonesia did that, Saudi Arabia did that, UAE did that. What happened? Did they get even 1 minute of mindshare from any news organization? Except a ticker saying Turkey sends letter to Facebook. Did they get anything out of it? Anything, nothing at all. I think that if these governments had followed Pakistan's lead and put it off air, they would have got tremendous mind space, and the Muslim body within each of these nations would have respected them more. I think it needs to be done at some point, that the Muslims need to come together at some forum, at some point, and say something. The problem is that Muslims can't even sit across a table without pulling each other's hair out, so we are very far from being able to come together on anything.
The order was for Facebook, not for anything else. They blocked nearly 1,000 websites. In addition to Facebook, they blocked Wikipedia for a whole day. They blocked YouTube. They blocked Flickr. So tomorrow you'll ban Google because you can search for blasphemous content. And that's the end of everything.
To be very honest, Pakistan is a third world country. We still live on handicraft. 90%, 70%, let's say, majority goes to farm. They throw a seed, put water, they get a mango, and they go home. Facebook, forget Facebook. I mean, I'm in Karachi, my generator is on. We don't have electricity in Pakistan. It's going for 14 hours in the major metropolis hub. So, saying that, and 75% of Pakistan doesn't get affected by Facebook.
Could say we've had the internet for about 20 years, and we've had it as a white screen, and the social network has brought us together. Sorry.
You live for that. Oops.
According to our religion and according to Islam, everyone involved in a blasphemy is wajibul qatl. He should be killed.
When I started the press conference, before the press conference there was an overwhelming discussion that these guys are defending Facebook, and it was seen as if you're defending Facebook, you are blasphemous.
And I'm not scared to say that. We said this at Press Club and we were threatened by the journalists. We had to run for our lives.
The problem is that this internet is not working.
I think we are emotionally charged. Pakistanis, I mean, in 2006, where the Danish cartoons came across, they were on the streets. 99% of the people had never seen the cartoons.
Emotional nation. We either love you or we hate you, and that emotion goes back and forth like a needle.
They were so emotionally charged by the elders or whoever the leaders were, that they were on the streets and doing it. I suspected this to happen again.
This whole world needs hatred for some few people to make a lot of money. See, this will generate negative energy within 2-3 years. Let's say Salman Rushdie gets killed. You are putting more pressure, and then some idiot goes out and does something crazy. Then you have another 9/11. Then you say, see? I mean, like, wait a second. Nobody will ever remember the pressure because it's so subtle. And it's under the banner of freedom and this and that.
Horrific books like Clash of Civilizations, or people talking about Western culture and Islam as if you can compare the two, has led to a lot of confusion about the religion. And I think people abroad feel that Muslims are completely intolerant.
For those who think that Islam is a tolerant religion, they should become Christian. Christianity is a tolerant religion. Buddhism is a tolerant religion. Islam is not a tolerant religion. I'm sorry. The history of Islam is completely the other side. We are not a tolerant society. If you slap us, we will not turn the other cheek. We will bash your face in. This is the history of Islam as it was practiced, as it was understood by the companions of the Prophet and as it was practiced thereon. We are not tolerant. Please, let's get over this, right? We want to live in the West, so we come up with this idea of a tolerant Islam. Since when is Islam tolerant? Since when? Islam was spread by the sword. Muslims were conquerors. Wherever they conquered, They gave people two choices: either pay taxes or become Muslim. That's it. And the taxes were quite intense, right? And they were collected. There's no bullshit around that. So people chose Islam rather than pay the taxes. It's as simple as that. Islam is a religion of conquest. Why do we fear it as Muslims?
Yes, conquest happened. I give an example. The Americans are conquering the world around in different ways. But in this modern era, are you actually going to achieve anything by actually going out and hitting on a person? You'll actually do more harm than good to yourself. And I constantly believe, I mean, if talking about religious wars, how long are you going to fight? I mean, I think you'd win more friends if you talk peacefully and you talk to them as compared to going out and putting an axe on their head.
You may ask any question and I'm very sure that I will not be reactive. But I'm very sure that if I will be in front of Salman Rushdie, inshallah I will kill him.
As I keep on saying, Islam is not about killing people and blasphemy. Well, that's,
yeah, but
that
you just mentioned.
Unfortunately, I am now entering the spiral of jihadi fatwas, right? This is going into very dangerous territory where tomorrow you're going to say, Salman, you're a bloody jihadi fanatic, right? I'm not. But what I'm trying to say is that for the love of the Prophet, people will continue to lay down their lives. They will. He will go and stab the guy. He will stand up in court and say, I did it. Now kill me. Because for him, that is the ultimate sacrifice.
You don't think it is wrong to go and actually stab someone in the heart? No. You don't think it's wrong? The guy who made the picture is wrong?
No, he wasn't wrong either.
So I am against intimidation, I am against censorship. I have a right to an opinion. By saying this, it doesn't mean that I am against the Prophet or that I don't love him or respect him. These are two separate matters.
There will be many clashes between different religions, and that will lead to a society where the peoples, they will not be very secure. I will say that all of the Western countries, particularly the United States of America,
you don't want to accept their ideals of freedom and freedom of speech and liberty, then please choose not to live there. I think that's a choice that people need to start making. But you don't want to live there, go to a Muslim country, right? And then you realize that, oh crap.
Everything is connected to geopolitics. We cannot think in isolation. We just cannot think in isolation, just a drawing. And it is the Sabra and Shatila, the massacres, Iraq, Iran, Iraq sanctions, millions of babies killed for 20 years, then Afghanistan again. So we just not seeing just the drawing, it's the whole 40 years of madness, and it's not consciously coming in front of us. All we see is the pressure build up and we just explode.